In the ancient land of Egypt, under the shadow of the Great Pyramids, the Hebrew people toiled in bondage. Their cries of suffering rose to the heavens, but on earth, their master, the Pharaoh, hardened his heart. Fearing the growing numbers of the Hebrews, Pharaoh issued a terrible decree. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be cast into the Nile River. A wave of sorrow and terror washed over the land of Goshen, as families faced an unspeakable choice. In the midst of this despair, a Levite woman named Jochebed gave birth to a son. She looked upon his face and saw that he was a beautiful child, and a fierce love ignited in her heart. For 3 months, she defied the king's command, hiding her precious baby from the world. Every cry was muffled, every movement silenced. The walls of their humble home held the secret of a life that was forbidden to exist. But a growing baby cannot be hidden forever. His cries became stronger, his presence harder to conceal. With a heavy heart, Jochebed knew she could not keep him safe much longer. But she would not surrender him to the river's depths. Instead, she put her faith into action. She wove a small ark of papyrus reeds, sealing it with tar and pitch to make it watertight. This was not a vessel of abandonment, but a vessel of hope. Gently she placed her son inside, kissing his brow one last time. With tears streaming down her face, she carried the basket to the banks of the mighty Nile and set it afloat among the reeds, entrusting his fate to God. From a distance, hidden but watchful, stood the baby's older sister, Miriam. Her young heart pounded with a mix of fear and responsibility as she kept her eyes fixed on the tiny ark bobbing on the water. She watched as the currents played with it, pushing it gently along the riverbank. Her vigil was a silent promise to her mother and a prayer for her little brother's survival. Then, a procession approached the river. It was Pharaoh's own daughter, coming with her attendants to bathe. As she neared the water's edge, her eyes fell upon the strange basket nestled in the reeds. Curiosity piqued, she sent one of her maids to retrieve it. When she opened the basket, she saw the baby. He was crying, and her heart was instantly moved with compassion. She knew at once that this was one of the Hebrew children, a life condemned by her own father's law. But looking at his innocent face, she could not let him perish. Seizing the moment with incredible courage, young Miriam stepped out from her hiding place. She approached the princess and asked, "Shall I go and find a nurse for you from among the Hebrew women so she can nurse the child for you?" The princess, seeing the wisdom in the girl's suggestion, agreed immediately. Miriam ran as fast as her legs could carry her, her heart soaring with a plan that was unfolding more perfectly than she could have ever imagined. She returned not with a stranger, but with her own mother, Jochebed. Standing before the princess, Jochebed's face remained composed, hiding the storm of emotion within. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay you your wages." And so, in a miraculous turn of events, Jochebed was paid to nurse her own son. She took him home, not in secrecy and fear, but under the protection of the very palace that had sought to destroy him. When the child was old enough, Jochebed brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. She named him Moses, for she said, "I drew him out of the water." He grew up in the splendor of the Egyptian court, educated as a prince, yet his true identity was a secret held by a faithful family. In the heart of the empire that enslaved his people, the future deliverer of Israel was being raised, his extraordinary destiny preserved by the love of a mother, the courage of a sister, and the hand of a watchful God. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of faith and courage.